this video, I am going to share with you my personal experience on applying for a family reunification visa with Switzerland. So let's start. A family reunification visa is under a national visa for Switzerland, and I can stay in Switzerland for more than 90 days. So you can read this text to describe what is a national visa. There are several reasons wherein you can apply for a national visa, or you can stay for more than 90 days in the Schengen area or the country in the Schengen area. So it can be for studies, for family regroupment or family reunification, for marriage preparation, for work, or even cohabitation in some countries. In my case, it is a family regroupment or family reunification visa. Unlike the Schengen visa, the national visas must be applied with the embassy or consulate. In my case, I applied with the Embassy of Switzerland here in Manila, the Philippines. So here's our profile. I am a Filipino national married to a Danish national who is a resident of Switzerland. We are in Canton Basel-Landschaft, and we got married in Denmark on a visa. Take note, I do not have the report of marriage yet when I submitted my application with the Swiss embassy. So here are the documents that you need to prepare for the family regroupment visa. First, your valid passport plus 2 photocopies of the bio page and inside back cover, your visa application form, 3 copies of that one, 4 colored passport size photos, an apostilled birth certificate plus a copy. Take note that the birth certificate needs to be translated. I had mine translated in German. You must also have your marriage certificate plus a photocopy. Since we got married in Denmark, then we submitted the Danish marriage certificate. 2 copies of my spouse's residence permit, a police clearance plus a copy, and the police clearance has to be translated into German as well, and the proof of language competency. So I submitted a copy of my invoice, payment invoice, and the certificate of enrollment in language school in Berlin in Germany. Of course, the visa fee. The visa fee is around 4,600, but it is waived in my case because I am a spouse of an EU national. So those are the requirements. Again, these may change depending on your circumstances. So for the application procedure, first, of course, you'll have to compile all of the documents applicable in your case. And then once it's complete, make a request for an appointment with the embassy, and then submit your documents at the embassy during your appointment date. After which you'll have to wait for the decision, and after the long waiting game, once approved, submit your passport for the visa sticker. Along with my FRV application, I also needed to register our marriage in Switzerland. My husband has already submitted his documents, and we requested that I submit my own set of documents via the embassy instead of submitting them via a courier. So for the verification of the civil status documents, I submitted the following by the request of the Cantonal Civil Registry or the Civil Standesamt. So an apostilled PSA birth certificate, an apostilled PSA Sanamar, my community tax certificate. I also gave them a copy of my marriage certificate, my husband's passport, and my husband's residence permit. Take note that all residents of Switzerland have the obligation to report, so you can read the text there below. So this particular one was submitted, or all the documents was submitted to the civil registry section of the Swiss embassy, and I had to pay 13,000 pesos for the verification, but I was able to receive a change of 7,185. The next part is our visa application timeline. You can skip this portion if you don't want to see the timeline and just go over to the summary. Day 0 or April 7, we submitted a complete set of documents to the Swiss embassy in Manila. Day 1, we paid the verification fees for the civil registry documents via international bank transfer. We didn't know we had to pay, so I had to ask my husband to pay for it. Day 3, we received a confirmed payment for the verification, and the verification process started with the civil registry. Day 12, the civil registry has already completed the verification, and our documents were forwarded to the cantonal civil registry. Day 18, my husband submitted an additional set of documents for the residence permit. So this includes the following: his passport photo, marriage certificate or the family booklet. We didn't have any children, so we didn't have to submit the birth certificates. Copy of the valid passport or identity card, copy of the rental agreement of the apartment, and his employment confirmation. He also had to fill out this form. It's in German, so he was able to fill it out on his own. So in between this period and the next, we sent several emails and phone calls to the cantonal migration office to inquire about our application. However, it took them a while to respond, and they were always saying that my application is being processed and that we do not have to add or to submit additional documents. Day 89. So we received the entry visa authorization or the Ermächtigung zur Visumserteilung. So that's in German. We forwarded a copy to the Swiss Embassy in Manila to request for appointment for the sticker issuance. On day 90, we received a confirmation for appointment from the Swiss Embassy. And finally, on day 94, I got my visa sticker on the same day as my appointment. It only took 30 minutes for them to process my visa sticker. So here's the short version of our timeline. You can screen cap so that you would be able to gauge how long it will take. Now take note, this was in Canton Baseland, so the cantonal migration office can either can be faster in your canton, so you have to specifically ask them for the timeline and the process. And here's a glimpse of how much we paid in total for my family reunification visa. So as a spouse of an EU national, we did not pay any visa application fees. However, for the verification of the civil status documents, we had to pay around 5,815 pesos or 100 Swiss francs. For the visa authorization, it was 95 Swiss francs or 5,578.15 pesos. So our application cost a total of 195 Swiss francs or around 11,400 pesos. So that's basically the summary of my FRV application. So the next ones would be about some frequently asked questions that I have received so far from my friends. First off would be, why didn't apply for FRV while in Switzerland? So according to the SEM or the State Secretariat for Migration, I as a Filipino have to apply for the Visa D or a national visa in my home country or in my place of residence. Aside from that, Switzerland is not part of the European Union wherein they can use their right of free movement. Okay. So question 2, do you need an apostilled PSA marriage certificate when applying for FRV in Switzerland? That depends on where you got married. So did you get married in the Philippines? The answer is yes. If in the EU or in the EFTA, there's no need. For those who got married in Denmark just like me, you just need a copy of your Vilsesastet. Did I say it correctly? So it's a marriage certificate from Denmark. So the next one is related to the previous question. So do you need an apostilled PSA report of marriage when applying for FRV in Switzerland? So again, that depends. If you got married in the EU or in the EFTA or in other Schengen countries, no need. However, if you got married in the US or non-EU and non-Schengen countries, then yes, you need your PSA report of marriage. So the next one is, do you have to have or do you need to have an A1 language certificate? The answer is no. You'll only need a proof of enrollment in a language course. So I also asked whether I could take the language course outside of Switzerland. The answer is yes. I actually enrolled in a language school in Berlin. So next question is, what's the validity of the police clearance? It's around 6 months, and they only needed it to be valid during your submission. The next question is, where did you have your documents translated? The Swiss Embassy has an official list of translators. I had my documents translated to German by 2 translators who were in the QC area. And lastly, can I apply for a Schengen visa while my national visa application is ongoing? The answer is yes. You can have 2 simultaneous applications of a Schengen visa and a national visa. I have actually tried this one. However, the Schengen visa application will be dependent whether or not the Cantonal Migration Office will grant you this particular visa. So that is my visa application experience for the long stay visa. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Send me a message. Bye for now.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.